What is going on, my beautiful dolls and divos? And welcome to Have Several Seats with the Queen of Hair Illusions. I just want to go ahead and dive into this problematic topic today that can help so many of us out here. All right. Is your hair breaking off or falling out? If you are into everything that is talking about hair care, beauty, hair loss, extensions, this is the podcast for you. All right. So, I want to go ahead and talk about what everyone has dealt with one point of their life and how to go about figuring out the solution, the indicators on which one is which, and how to go about doing what you can to be proactive and to address that issue. So if that is something you're into, let's get it cooking. Go ahead and have your seat. Okay, now, breakage. Breakage is going to deal with the hair shaft, okay? And the indicator that you're going to go ahead and identify if your hair is breaking compared to is it falling out is when you look in the bowl in your bathroom. Gather all of the strands. If your bowl is white, you can look inside the bowl. If you have one of those more modern type of, bowls in your sink, get a white sheet of paper. All right. You're going to go ahead and see if it's going to be different lengths. So say your hair is this long strand that my wig is giving you. Oh, when the wig blows, I got to show you. Okay. When you're having pieces this long, that long, it's all over, that's an indicator that is breakage. Okay, Taneasha, I know that. Okay. Now, when we have hair loss, we're normally dealing with entire strands. So just like I pulled out this whole length of this wig, you're going to see the whole length of that hair fall, okay? And another indicator, what I want you to do is gather all of that loose hair in a pile. Now, if we're not aware, I'm going to go ahead and act like we are talking to people who are not YouTube university graduates. Can I talk to them for a second? Can I a little bit? All right, our hair strands, what? 50 to 100 strands a day. Okay, so you're going to have traditional hair fall. So if your hair is loose and it has been combed and brushed and you're seeing an extreme amount of strands that you normally don't normally see, then we are finding out that we're having some hair loss. We might be in as different forms of hair loss, so we don't address them the same. Okay, when we are dealing with breakage, you're going to look at snapping. So you're going to get that strand, and if you just tug a little bit and it just pops easily, we're dealing with more cosmetic hair fall compared to hair loss. So you can have damage from a couple things. All right. First things first, tension. Something is too tight. That could be a ponytail, braids, twists, wigs. Too much tension can cause breakage. Again, when you look at that area through your friend or whoever's styling your hair, you should be able to see that the breakage is not from the root, but it's from the hair shaft. So it's going to leave some, it's going to look like a broom, like a straw broom. It's going to be raised cuticles. It's going to be indicator that that is cosmetic. The beautiful thing about cosmetic, it's an easy fix if we change the behavior. And once we try to find out what caused it. So I said tension is number one. Number two can be over manipulation, and we are not having that hair prepared for that manipulation, meaning that your hair could be very brittle due to excessive sugar in your diet, due to certain medications. So you can be having a lack of moisture that's making your hair much brittle, that's causing the what? The snapping. We also can have heat damage. Okay, so we're going to be dealing with the bonds. Excuse me, that I keep scratching my nose. Allergy season. So I'm sorry. It's a hair somewhere and it ain't letting me be great. Have several seats to strand. I swear to goodness. The bangs. Okay. Anyway, when we are dealing with that, we're breaking the strongest bond in the hair. So if you're not familiar with the bonds, we have 3 different bonds. That is the structure of your hair, okay, your cuticle. All right, what you see. You got your salt bond, you got your hydrogen bond, and you have your disulfide bond. Your disulfide bond is your strongest bond. That is your structure. So that's normally what is going to be damaged when we do any chemical service, color, relaxer, perm, or thermal heating that penetrates past those other 2 layers to that bond. Okay. Now, when we mess with the salt and hydrogen bond, normally it's breaking down when you shampoo your hair, when you put any custards, anything to change the pH. Okay. It's a physical change. The sulfide bond is a permanent change. So if you do not prepare the hair is already weak, and we go in and do a color treatment, we do a relaxer, we doing double yin and yang, we don't have a system and we overlapping relaxer or perm, and perm and relaxer are not the same. We mixing chemicals, then we gonna have that breakage. All right, my dolls and divas. So hopefully we got that. So I talked about it's gonna be snapping, chemicals, dryness, over manipulation. All right, hair loss. Hair loss is not a disease, it's a symptom. It's a symptom and it's telling you something is not going right internally. If you're not familiar, hair grows within. So when we want to manage length, like I talked about in the previous episode, we are doing certain things to seal in that moisture, especially when we have curly textures, because we are already at a disadvantage. Taneasha, why are we in a disadvantage? It's anatomy. Okay. So when you have straighter textures, more wavier textures, your erector pili can produce the natural sebum and moisturize that strand on its own when it takes its 4 weeks to come out of that dermis layer to the epidermis layer, the layer that you see. So hair growth within. You drink water, whatever you eat, the blood is circulating that. It's going to get to the follicle and then it's going to grow. Okay. That's what that is, right? When you have curlier texture, like I used to think, the 4C, the tighter the texture, the stronger the hair. No, the weaker the hair. Why, Taneasha? Because the daggone sebum got to fight through that coil. It's going to stop when it's going to stop. So that's why when people have straight textures, they are very oily and they got to shampoo on a regular basis. And that's why they don't have issues with lymph retention, because their body's already producing the natural sebum anyway to keep it moisturized. Compared to my curly textures, we want to preserve the lymph too, but we already at a disadvantage, and especially if you ain't drinking your water and you don't have a routine. All right. So when we're talking about hair loss, we're normally dealing with the exact whole strand. Okay. This is when we have something that might be a chemical imbalance, like our thyroids, our menopause. We might be having a childbirth. You might have been sick. You might have had weight loss surgery. We might have done Ozempics and all of the shots. You can't trick the body. So when we tricking the body to do certain things that it's not meant to do, you're going to be at a mineral defect, a mineral deficient. Okay. Ugh. All right. And when you're mineral deficient, then you might have telogen effluvium. Okay. That's when we have in shedding because we don't have copper, potassium, iron, vitamin D. So that's normally going to be corrected when you get your minerals or your gut health together. A lot of times the gut is a lot of where the underlying belly is, where the hair loss is starting to go, where it's going to go. Now, you might have alopecia areata. I'll go into different episodes if y'all want to. Leave the comments below and I can go through each and every one of them, which I pretty much will, just depending on which I like. I'm not trying to do too much. It depends on if you want that. I could talk about the different hair loss, because 11 forms of them, and I could talk about a little bit more how to address them. But right now, I'm just going to go ahead and talk about the difference between, is my hair falling out or am I experiencing breakage? All right. as far as, which one to identify when we see the strands. A lot of times when I'm doing a trichology consult, I ask the person to start like telling me, okay, when you are having your hair fall, is it a dime size amount? Is it a quarter size amount? Is it the amount of my palm of my hand? To try to sit and see how much is coming out and how long is the period, because you have your 3 different hair cycles. You could be transitioning and it might be, okay, it's wintertime, so you're going to have a little bit more hair fall because of the season. Things of that nature plays a key into that. Okay, now that we're seeing that we're having a large amount of hair fall, we seeing the whole strand. Okay, Taneasha, what I do? Oh, and again, hair loss is going to give you breadcrumbs. What do you mean? There are certain indicators that I look for off a buck to let me know kind of where we at. So if you have genetic female or male pattern hair loss, there are going to be indicators, receded hairlines, if certain patterns. If we have CCCA, scarring alopecia, they used to call it the hot comb alopecia. Majority African American women experience the scarring alopecia. It's going to give me that shininess. It's going to mostly be in the crown. I sometimes get it around the hairline, and that's because of the chemicals. So a lot of times, if they a kind of old school client, older in the years, and they were starting off on relaxers and things of that nature, they put the relaxer there first, and normally that's where they get that from too. Okay, and you can get it from braids, but normally that's traction alopecia, and normally you have a certain amount of cycles of hair bulbs before it gets to the point that it's scarring. All right, so that's what I said. I could talk about the different forms. Also, if you have tenderness, inflammation, a lot of that is dealing with the gut. So you can do all the topical solutions you can try to find on the internet or on your own, but you might be suffering in silence. And the longer that you hold on to trying to self-diagnose, the harder it's going to be to reverse the situation. Sometimes if I caught the alopecia or the hair loss prior to it being dormant for 2-3 years, I could probably give a signal and some blood flow to that follicle through different treatments internally and externally, and we could revive it. But if you've been suffering 5, 10, 20 years, it's going to be harder. It's like a hard scar, right? So what is the solution, Taneasha? Now that we found out the difference between hair loss and breakage, hopefully I was able to give you a nice amount of insight on how to identify your strands when you groom yourself, using your white bowl in your bathroom or using a white sheet of paper. Write down a little log, figure out, is it about stretch it, is it popping, okay, is it alopecia areata is going to give you certain circles inside your head, things of that nature, right? What do we do next? Now, I suggest that if it is breakage, then we should go ahead and reduce the tension as far as the styling. We will go in and do a reconstruction, moisturized protein regimen. It's a system. Find out your hair, care specialist. When you in ICU, when your hair is breaking and all that, that's the time I feel as though that we could go ahead and look and invest in ourselves and not experiment and waste so much money and time trying to do it ourselves, because no shade, there are licensed professionals that don't know no hair care, and all it is wigs and boho knotless braids. So you're gonna go ahead and find someone that cares. More than likely, we ain't I ain't gonna speak for all, but a lot of us ain't got time to be posting on TikToks and Instagrams and all that. Those are content creators. They mastered hashtags. I'm not hating, But the ones with a rack of followers is content creators, hair artists that is really into hair care. We too busy in the shampoo bowl. Those the ones with the followers, they ain't shampooing. You gotta add it with the rules. You gotta add it. They said it. They said don't DM them and to read the 3 pages. Them, they not gonna be the ones. Okay, you gonna have to search a little bit because you worth it. All right. Find you someone that's gonna put you on your regiment. You're gonna need a reconstruction, okay? Get it. K18 is your best friend. Olaplex, what's the DRC? That's Dudley's. If you can't, then get some Afro G. I'm a salon baby. I've been in the salon since 15, so I'm a little bougie when it comes to the over the counter. I don't know too much. Do not assault me in the comments. I've been in the salon since I've been 15. I'm a Dudley's girl. So whatever is in the beauty supply store, if you can't get your hands on it, no. Go to the hair school. Go to Paul Mitchell, go to Vader, go to Dudley's, go to Bennett, go somewhere. Go to Aspen. I don't know and I don't care. You're gonna get professional products that's gonna be monitored by an instructor. You ain't gotta get a hairstyle, but at least get your deep conditioning and your hair together when because they care. Because they that's what they in it. They ain't get brand new yet if your money funny. But if it's not, then go find your professional. All right. Then you're gonna get your trims and you're gonna sit on down. All right. Stop with the chemical, stop with the color, whatever it was, the reason of why your hair is breaking, you're gonna cut that out. Boom. Problem solved. It should take you about a good 4 to 6 months, maybe a year, depending on how bad it is, for you to go ahead and get back to where you're supposed to be at. All right. Boom. Those are Devos. If you have a hair fall and hair loss, then in the next episode, I'm going to tell you how to find either your trichologist or your dermatologist. Okay. How to go about vetting which one is best. A dermatologist is going to be your medical. When you find your dermatologist, you're going to want one that specializes in hair loss, not just the face. Okay. Also, when you look for a dermatologist, we're going to talk about that in the next episode. Your trichologist is the bridge between a cosmetologist and a dermatologist, and they're going to be a lot more into holistic approach. Your dermatologist, even though I'm a practitioner in trichology, if I need someone to get a PRP treatment, if I need a client to be diagnosed, okay, so their insurance and all that can cover them, maybe they need a prescription for yeast that's developed on a scalp. Certain things we need medical attention for, right? But I got into trichology because a dermatologist is going to give you a prescription, and they're not maybe going to dig to find the reason to give you a better educated solution. Okay. So when you find a trichologist, take your time as well. We'll talk about it in the next episode. They're going to go ahead and deal with gut health. The difference is they're not going to just necessarily deal with a medical steroid or medical shampoo. We would normally deal with, doing a bioscan to see if your medications and your levels are not correct. So we could go ahead and correct that by getting your vitamin levels together. We're also going to make sure we do an internal detox, do a scalp analysis. And you're dealing with an approach of not just plant-based solutions, but bone marrow solutions. All right. That's enough. All right. So my beautiful dolls and divas, I will see y'all next time. My allergies are doing a number. So I push through. I do appreciate every last one of y'all. Leave out comments below. Hype your girl up. I see y'all next episode on how to find a trichologist or a dermatologist, how to vet them out. Until next time, deuces.